You may make it, she said. So he continued, please ask King Solomon. He will not refuse you to give me Abishag the Shunammite as my wife. Uh-oh. Let's continue reading. Very well, Bathsheba replied. I will speak to the king for you. When Bathsheba went to King Solomon to speak to him for Adonijah, the king stood up to meet her, bowed down to her, and sat down on his throne. He had a throne brought for the king's mother, and she sat down at his right hand. I have one small request to make of you, she said. Do not refuse me. The king replied, make it. My mother, I will not refuse you. So she said, let Abishag the Shunammite be given in marriage to your brother Adonijah. King Solomon answered his mother, why do you request Abishag the Shunammite for Adonijah? You might as well request the kingdom for him. After all, he is my older brother, yes, for him and for Abiathar the priest and Joab son of Zeruiah. So you're like, okay, so why did... It sounds like Solomon is like taking this to the 10th degree, like he's enraged. Excuse me, he is. Because Haggith the Shunammite was a kind, beautiful person that was taking care of David in his more mature years, right before his death. And so she had gained huge respect through the whole kingdom. And so once again, during those time periods, people with a lot of respect had a lot of power, had a lot of say. And so his authority was coming into question again. His kingship was coming into question by his brother Abijah making this request. Abijah was going to cause discourse because in the kingdom, because if he were to marry the Shunammite. And so that's what we have to think about. We have to think about how major, it was during that time of what kind of request that was. It was basically almost saying Adonijah wants to rule as well. And so Solomon was like, whoa. There's only one ruler. I'm pretty sure Solomon wouldn't have mind, every now and then asking people, it's, even family members, advice and such, if needed, or have, but in this case, it was a challenge, basically. So Solomon, very upset. Let's see what happens. Let's continue to read. Then King Solomon swore by the Lord, may God deal with me, be it ever so severely, if Adonijah does not pay with his life for this request. And now, as surely as the Lord lives, he who has established me securely on the throne of my father David and has founded a dynasty for me as he promised, Adonijah shall be put to death today. So King Solomon gave orders to Benaiah, son of Jehoiada, and he struck down Adonijah, and he died. So there you go. Solomon knew that Adonijah was going to keep and be perpetual and sneaky and wanted to take control out of Solomon's hands of the kingdom. And he had mentioned, he had already told him, if your intentions are good, everything's cool. But if your intentions are evil, if it's not of the Lord and it's evil, then Adonijah is declaring himself his fate. And that's what just happened. What kind of thoughts or feelings come to your mind over this? How does it make you feel, and what does it make you think?